for all things gaming.
Hello and welcome to No More Respawns. This is No More Respawns episode what is it? 14.
14.
Yeah, and it is your host today, Ben, and I'm here with my co-host Ryan. What's up, Ryan?
Hiya.
Hi,
Not
hi,
much.
hiya. Um so in this episode we're gonna go over some recent news, but also we're gonna kind of dive back into the past, into some of the older games we played when we were growing up that creeped us out in the spirit of Halloween. So
Yeah.
we'll kind of get into that pretty soon. For me, the N64 PlayStation era is definitely strong with that.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Something about something about him was just so creepy. I think I have a lot of ones from I guess both, but the
Yeah.
PS1
Yeah.
especially.
So we're gonna dive into that and more with, I guess, what Halloween themed stuff, and we'll start in with what we've been up to and playing. So, you want to start us off with that, Ryan?
Sure. Yeah. We Round and I actually finished Silent Hill F recently. I liked it. He didn't really like it. We ran into like so many issues with him running it. He pretty much had to like do a fresh install of like Nvidia and the drivers
You
every
were
single
telling
time
me
he
about
played.
that.
Yeah, it like never stopped, and they like didn't really update the game either, so it just kind of burned him wrong, you know?
Yeah, no, that's the worst. Rachel and I were just talking about when you try so hard at something and you put a lot of effort in, and then you've made no progress. And
Yeah.
how that's literally the worst. We had a it's Our experience wasn't with video games, it was with putting, pill and stick wallpaper up, and Rachel tried very
Oh
hard,
no.
and it ended up just being the design did not match to where you could
Crazy.
yeah, so it wasn't her issue, but it didn't make her feel any better. So
No, not at all.
so is Silent Hill F, like, I know there's Silent Hill 2, is F a sequel to that, or is it like a prequel?
It's something entirely different. This one takes place in like 1960s Japan.
Ah, okay.
So it's the enemy types and stuff are like completely different. It still kind of takes a play on like the person's mental state sort of
Mm,
thing, and just kind of like an overarching story that they kind of mask horror on top of.
okay.
So it's he's getting all mad at the game because it's like not working, and I just want lore, and he's like just tired at that point.
Uh
He's like,
uh,
"No, let's just keep going." I'm like, "No." I'm
no.
like, "There's a note, there's a little cutscene."
You wanted me here.
Just to give a reference on that, I think we beat it. It was like 7 hours and 48 minutes.
Uh-huh.
But if you looked at Steam, he spent it was like over 15, almost 16 hours. So
Uh,
that difference in time was him messing around just trying to get the game to work.
oh my
Like
gosh.
double the amount of time we played just trying to get it to work.
That is insane. That's
It's dedication
insane.
though.
Yeah. Oh man.
But that's been like a couple times, what, like once or twice a week. The other time for free time, I've been trying to do Pokemon Violet. I'm not sure if Rachel mentioned that to you because I was like, "Hey, you want to help me complete my decks?"
I think she did like a week or so ago.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. I was able to like find raids from the other exclusive Pokemon, whatever. But it's like the normal ones I can't get.
Mm,
Just like the generic ones you find in the wild. Like
yeah.
I just can't find anyone doing trade codes or anything for that. So
I
I'm
think I
like kind of
ruined it for
stuck.
Rachel because she would like try so hard to complete her Pokédex, and I would always have the corresponding game, which, Shield and Sword. I had Shield,
Yeah.
she had Sword, and she'd get like almost all the Pokemon you can get from Sword, and there's all these ones she needed from Shield, but she couldn't just trade with me because I'm a freaking. You've seen my
Oh.
backlog. I
You're
just,
still at the beginning
yeah,
town.
I've let her down many of times.
I think, yeah, she was trying to get me to trade with her as well, but I wasn't exactly into the game as much back then. I think that was Sword and Shield actually. And
Yeah.
I think I we had the same version,
Yeah.
so it didn't even work.
Yeah. You guys should do a little bit more planning beforehand.
I probably. But Zeta A is coming out, and I actually got the shipping notification. It said it's gonna come next Thursday, which I was like, "What the heck? It comes out tomorrow." But it updated. It's coming tomorrow, so I get to see what plush I get with the game.
Oh, it
Which,
comes out tomorrow?
yeah, it comes out Thursday. I guess it says it arrives
And if you
between
guys are
8 a.m.
confused,
and 1.
we're recording on, October 15th,
Oh
so
yeah.
yeah. So it does come out October 16th, which, it's my mom's birthday, so I won't be playing it.
Dang, yeah. I mean, with what we're just talking about with time, I'm not sure how much time I'd be able to play it, but I
Yeah.
do want to.
Yeah. I that's one I wouldn't mind checking out, but I don't think I can buy until I know I can actually put some time.
Have Rachel play it, and that way her and I could
I
trade.
don't know. I feel like she hasn't been playing too much stuff lately, so she might have the itch to play it or get it, so we'll see. Maybe
Maybe.
you might be able to convince her more than me. She
Yeah,
just thinks of me
yeah.
as, like, someone who's gonna play it for 2 seconds and then not get her any Pokemon, but luckily, this isn't like there's not a corresponding thing. You just gotta she'll just get me to get the DLC so she can complete it.
I will have to ask her. I'll send, like, a picture and be like, "Look what I got.
Yeah.
Are you getting it?"
There you go, there you go.
Uh, but even just going back to Violet, I'm at Blueberry Academy, so I still haven't even technically beat that full game. So it's like,
Mm.
just gonna be another backlog item perhaps, I don't know.
I'm so tired of these backlog games.
There's so many. I
So
keep buying
many.
more.
Yeah.
Cheap ones anyway. The Z-Day was probably the most expensive one there. And then a little bit of Thunder Folk.
Folk.
Near the Thunder Folk. Near the end of that one, I think. I'm not entirely too sure. I'm a little sad. I don't want it to be close to the end of the game, but it feels like it's getting close. Like we're starting to hit some like big story moments and don't know what we're gonna play after that.
Yeah,
But
well, you're like Rachel, she hates when things ends. She doesn't wanna
she takes it too far though.
we've been watching Hunter x Hunter, that anime, and we're, like, getting close to, like, what's available for the anime, and she's like, "I don't want it to end," and so we started watching Gossip Girl.
I knew it. I was gonna say she probably just stopped watching.
Yeah, she did, but we'll get back to it. We just
Good.
start watching Gossip Girl, and I'm, like, guessing everything that's, like, accurately that's gonna happen.
That's hilarious.
I literally said something kind of joking, but not really, and then the character said the verbatim, like, exactly what I said. Yeah, I was joking around, I'm like, "I killed somebody," and then the character's like, "I killed somebody," and I'm like, "I don't even have to watch it. I just know."
Yeah, you just know it.
It's like
That's
the
hilarious.
ADHD superpower where you just really good at predicting, like, story plots.
You just like start handing Rachel like scripts of the episodes as you watch
Mhm.
and be like, this is mine. Just go ahead and watch. They'll
I'm like,
say
"Pause it. This is gonna happen."
it. And it does.
Yeah,
But
but
that's all I've been up to. I really haven't played too much, which is kind of weird.
yeah, well,
What about
not
you?
really. You've been busy, and kinda leads into my, recent stuff is I've been very busy. My work's getting busy. Um,
Everyone busy.
yeah, I started doing I don't know if I mentioned this before. I started doing, like, a volunteer, like, nonprofit thing,
Yeah.
doing some voice work for reading articles for people hard of seeing, and, yeah, it's taken up a lot of time, and work's taken up a lot of time, gym's taken up a lot of time. I haven't been able to play too much, but I kinda dove into well, I've been into Hades, I've mentioned, but I keep
Yeah.
seeing the ad for Hades 2, and I heard Hades 2 is really good, it reviewed really well. A lot of people are saying it's better than the first one, and the first one's really good. So, I've been with my time I have to play games, I've been playing Hades, and I still haven't
Oh,
beaten
okay.
it. I keep getting to the boss, getting to the second phase of the boss, and dying. Um, it's
No.
still fun and rewarding going through because 'cause
Yeah.
you're still kinda slowly getting these lasting benefits to make you a little stronger,
Yeah.
and I just keep because it tells you how many attempts you've made, so I keep seeing that slowly go up. I'm like, am I this bad? Am I ever gonna get Hades too? Because I can't escape Hades. So yeah, I don't deserve to play Hades too.
Maybe you'll get it during, like, the next sale, you know? You'll
Maybe.
beat it during the
It's
winter
full
sale.
price, it's $30, so it's not horrible for something I really
Yeah,
enjoy.
that's true.
Um, but if I got it on sale for 20, at this rate, it'd be on sale for 15 by the time I can get it. Um,
Hey, you're still holding true to Hades 1. I thought you were gonna say that you, like, caved and you bought it already. So
no,
I'm
because I
impressed, I'm
am enjoying
impressed.
it's like a matter of principle at this point because I'm so close. And every time I get to the end, I get to the final boss, but I already kind of know I don't have enough. You can get these things where you the self revive kind of thing,
Mm,
and I have like one left by the time I get there. I'm like, I at least need three or two with other good benefits
yeah,
to have a chance to win. And then I'll attempt the boss and I'll beat his first phase. But by the time I beat his first phase, I'm like a freaking scrub. I'm dead. I'm a walking corpse at that point. He breathes on me and I like respawn because when you die, you come out of like this pool of blood back at the Hades palace or whatever,
okay.
and you come out you basic because you're a god, you like self revive kind of, but you start at the
Yeah.
beginning without any of your power ups. So I come out of this pool of blood like, well, here we go again. But I have been changing up some strategies. So I am excited. I feel like it's going to be a lot more rewarding going to Hades 2 once I beat Hades 1. Brandon's like, yeah, I beat it. Oh, I played it when it was out before. I beat it multiple times with different weapons. I'm like, well, good for you.
Like, I
That
just wanna beat it
it's really making me
once.
feel bad about my video game skills deteriorating, but anyway, mostly has been Hades. I played a little bit more. I think I mentioned I've been playing God of War a little bit. I got back into that because I want to get to Ragnarok. I think I did mention that. I played a little
Yeah,
more of that, but I've been more into Hades lately. Uh, I'm still kind of waiting for another GameCube game to be added to the service. I feel like they skipped out on September. I think Chibi Robo came in August. So
that sounds about right.
they're kinda giving us some other games on the Game Boy Advance and stuff like that, but want more to play on the Switch too. I'm settling
Yeah, I
for
feel that.
Hades, I guess, right now. I don't know if I'm gonna get uh Kirby Air Riders that comes out next month.
Okay.
Maybe that would be a Christmas thing, I don't know. But
I mean, at that point, yeah.
that's pretty much what I've been up to. I outside of that, I redid my profile pic and banner for my YouTube
Oh, yeah,
channel,
yeah.
which I was happy about. But I also did a post about getting back into my channel, gonna get like start up again, a consistent schedule, all this stuff. That hasn't happened yet. I posted that like last weekend, like a week ago. And that's just how busy I've been. And I
Just
don't want to
building up.
start until I have a legitimate schedule that I can make work more. And then the volunteer
Yeah.
stuff. And if I could, I'm probably going to start with like one episode a week of something, just like, and go from there and slowly add to it. But I want to do something for Halloween, but I have to, I can't do a full, I'm not gonna have time for a full series, but I'd like to at least do a game or some sort of video.
Yeah, maybe, like, a shorter one where it's not as long, so then that way you're only, like, committing to half-hour episodes or something, you know?
Yeah.
Make it a little bit easier to start again.
Yeah. So that's it for me. So I think it's time to jump into the topic of the episode, which are the spooky childhood games we played that really stuck with us and still haunt our dreams a little bit, I'd say.
No, yeah. Yeah,
No,
you're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
How about you start us off? What have you played? when you were younger that really just creeped you out and, I don't even know, like, just off I don't wanna say
You just
off-putting, what's the word? Just eerie? That's just,
yeah,
like yeah.
just just not right.
Yes, just not right.
That game ain't right.
That
I
just playing it with Rachel, it's like, "That's just not right."
I think I mentioned this one a few times, and it's like that Rugrat game. I don't know
Yes.
why. That one is just it's like I, I saw it recently where it's like a TikTok and it's just like a Piglet game, but it's like Piglet walking around in this like haunted mansion sort of house. And it's just like creepy. It's like they had no right making like a children's game this spooky, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what the Rugrat one was.
Well,
Again,
explain that again. I remember when Rachel was on and you guys talked about it briefly. So it was like a subsection of the game?
there's two different ones. The one was like Tommy had to go to the garage. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he had to go from like upstairs pretty much to the basement. And like you just had this like dinky flashlight that you had to collect batteries for because it ran out so quick. But then they also had like ghosts that would appear like chasing you through the house that you had to turn around and blast with the light,
Oh,
which would
no.
also consume more light. So you're just like a baby running around with like this little expendable flashlight, and it was they made you go into the garage and then like down in the basement, and it was a lot, especially
Oh.
for a child's game. As a
Do you
child,
remember which Rugrats game that was?
I don't.
I was gonna say, I don't know if we'd be able to do it, but it would be cool to have you on a video. If I don't know if I'd have to get to that point in the story, or how far it is, but I can get access to the game probably on
Yep.
my N64, and you could watch me do that section.
I'll have to see if I could look up covers. I may be able to recognize it by like the game cover, you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it might be with my collection of PlayStation games, to be honest. Yeah, you'll have like your coming back to YouTube specials, just Rugrats on the PS1.
I know. Everyone's gonna be like, "What the hell?"
You're like, no, 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 trust the process.
Trust
We're
me,
getting somewhere.
it's spooky. You're gonna cry like a baby.
And then the second part of that game, I can't remember if they connected or not, or if it's just a little bit later. But you had to have your dog Spike go down to get the Cynthia doll or whatever from for Angelica.
Yeah.
But it was like another like the dog's running out at nighttime to go into the sewers, and they had like all this like other random stuff in the sewer.
Yeah.
Um, Couple of creepy moments for a kids game, you know.
Do they have any, like, jump scares?
That I can't remember. I think just, like, the music and the sounds
Well,
and, like, knowing
yeah.
that there's something in the dark was
And
just,
it
like,
was that
spooky enough.
compressed music on the well, I guess
Yeah.
you had it on the PlayStation, so it wouldn't have been as compressed as the N64, but
Oh.
still, it's that like, old 64 PlayStation music, which is
Yeah,
just, like it's just off-putting
it is.
and just makes you uncomfy.
No, yeah, it really does. Another one which I don't think it was, like, one of my first games, but, like, an early game was, like, the original Doom. I don't
Yeah.
know why, I was playing it, and then I got to, like, a part where I opened a door and there's, like, this, like, goat monster thing on it, and I can't remember how old I was. I was not that I don't know, whatever. I just saw it and I was like, "You know what? Nope, I'm not playing it."
Yeah.
I think I tried it, like, once or twice and didn't pick it back up.
Oh my gosh.
Now I'm sure it'll be nothing, but I don't know. I don't have any more details on that other than it was, like, some kinda Doom game with some kinda goat demon thing. I do have Ocarina of Time, but I know you probably have something to say about that, so we'll come back.
We'll circle back to that.
Yeah.
Pokemon
I
oh my gosh, I almost said Pokemon Legends.
Pokemon Legends?
Yeah.
No, just Mega Man Legends, the first one. They did those dungeons so well in there that they're already, like, dark and creepy and maze-like. And then you had a lot of those robots where you think it'd be safe, and all of a sudden you hear like the and then it would just like zoom in at
I
you like
kinda is it
hyper
what
speed.
with, like, the saw arms or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
was just
remember watching my brother play, and I was like, "Holy moly."
yeah, because you don't see them, and then they see you make a noise and just beeline it, and you
Yeah,
had to like get out of its line of sight again.
yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that really had no right being that creepy. I feel like I have a lot here.
You do, I was,
Uh,
like, scrolling, I'm like, "Oh, I have, like, 2
I know.
things."
There's a lot I just tried and just dropped. Dino Crisis was one of them. I don't even think I played that much of it, just being hunted. I was like, "You know what?
Yeah,
Not for me."
oh, yeah.
Mm, uh, Halo 1, I did obviously beat that one, but I feel like nothing beats their intro to the Flood, where
Yeah,
you go from, like, the straight aliens, and then all of a sudden it just isn't quite right, but normal, and then all of a sudden it just gets, like, it's eerie, and then you
yeah.
go into that whatever that facility is, and you're
Mhm,
like,
I know, I
so
just did that semi recently with Rachel, and yeah.
yeah, it's like, it's not right in here," and then all of a sudden they just, like, pour out of there.
And even that, we talk about the N64 and PlayStation graphics, like, we played on the, Master Chief Collection, which you can
Yeah.
change you can hit the one select button, and it will change it from the new graphics to the old graphics. So
Oh,
we would just, like, switch it, and it's just, like, instant. So we just, like, hit it and just see how it looked with the old graphics, and I'm still saying the old graphics just look more eerie just with the darker colors and just I don't know, it's the
it
lack of
is.
detail is what makes it eerie.
Yes. The fact that you can't see, like, past, like, 3 polygons, it just
Mhm. It's like, "What are you hiding?"
yeah, the little flood's just like a triangle.
Because it lets you use and this kinda goes with the N64, PlayStation, and, like, it lets you use your imagination more, and it kinda
That's
gives you
true.
enough to be like, "It's scary," and then your mind's like, "It's really scary."
But they did such a good job on that one.
Yeah,
But
for
that one,
sure.
you had more of a fighting chance. A lot of the ones that I enjoy more so are the ones that you don't, which add a completely different element of horror on that.
Yeah.
But the one I'm talking about is Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Okay.
And that one I probably got like a quarter of the way through and then stopped. Again, like your only defense is like running and hiding. So you just go through in
Those
the
games
dark
stress
with
me
the
out.
I know, where if you're in the dark too long, you lose sanity, but like you have a like very finite life on your like lantern. So you're like trying to navigate through here, and occasionally the thing would just hunt you down and chase you. So you'd have to know also where the hiding spots are just in case, but still make progress. And solve
Yeah.
puzzles, that's my big folly right there. So it's
Mhm.
like, hmm.
It kinda reminds me of, the Backrooms 98 or 96 or whatever it
Oh,
is,
yeah, I
because
forgot I
it's,
had to
like,
do
just
that.
running and hiding and some puzzles. It's like, "Oh, yeah, this is what I wanna do puzzles," and when I'm, like, fighting for my life,
I
finding a
know.
tube TV to save and just
And
yeah.
then you realize you have to go back to where you were.
That game was definitely scary. I mean, I don't even have that on my list, but few games have me just screaming like that.
Well, that
One of the games on your list still is another game that had me screaming like that, but we'll get to that.
yeah, we'll get there. After my long list, it'll be about done. Uh, BioShock I have BioShock and Dead Space. BioShock was definitely creepy because of all, like, the splicers and everything like
Yeah.
that, but I really enjoyed the lore. It had me were moments where I didn't really wanna continue, but again, it has, like, more of a fighting chance, so
Yeah.
it's not as bad, which I guess goes into Dead Space, which you do also have a fighting chance, but definitely adds an extra layer of nope to that. I
Well, that was the other game that had me, like, screaming from it being scary and jump scare and that was yeah, but
Yeah,
go on, I'll give my
yeah,
more of my thoughts on it when you after you.
well, okay, yeah, I think the first time I played it was only, like, 10, maybe 20 minutes in, but, like, you go into, like, this one room and it locks behind you, and just the whole atmosphere, and you're like, start reading some stuff, whatever, get, like, a pack of ammo, and then all of a sudden, like, the lights cut and then
Mhm.
flicker back on, and it's just, like, patrolling, it's like, I don't I don't really want to leave.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I remember specifically, like, one of the early rooms, you're in this, like, I could be misremembering, but I feel like you're in this, like, I don't wanna was it like a sewer kinda room? And was it, like, going through the vents or something in
There
running
is
around?
I think there is almost like
I think
a
there's, like, a
large
boss fight in one of those rooms.
is it like the worm thing that, like, grabs you
I
and, like,
think
pulls you?
so. I just re
Yeah,
I just remember early game, just the early sections of that game. I'm just like, I don't know if I wanna play this anymore because it was jump scaring me, like, every 2 seconds. I'm like, "Ho, ho." It's turning to Santa there.
Well, they know how to do it, and, like, they
Yeah.
would the lights would flicker or cut out, and then you have to go back to your flashlight just alone in the dark, then have to backtrack through
Mhm.
everything. It's like, "Oh, oh."
I feel like I always got scared by the horror movies that do the jump scares, like The Ring, The Grudge, all that, and I
Yeah.
I was only ever creeped out by some game like we're gonna get to, but Dead Space was the first game, like, actual game I played that just completely got me with jump scares. I feel like I may have played some that had a little, but this was the most notable for sure.
They just built the whole atmosphere, the environment, the sounds, it just was really well done.
Like, jump scares is one thing, but like you said, when you build the atmosphere and the sounds and everything leading up to it, to where it throws you off, to where they constantly have you expect but not expect when it's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
and then you'd expect nothing would happen, then all of a sudden, like, boom.
Yeah, I know, and you're just
Something does
like,
happen when you like, "Please."
"Please." Rachel finds me in my chair, just like,
Just can't.
yeah.
A couple of the ones that I when I was looking up lists that hopefully kinda, like, jog my memory are, like, the Silent Hill, Resident Evil ones, and that just hit at a weird time, I guess, in my
Mhm.
gaming history where I wasn't really allowed to get those games because they were scary.
Mhm.
So I didn't, but then by the time I could, obviously the new thing was out, like a new
Yeah.
game, console, whatever. So they just kind of got missed up until I guess somewhat recently because Silent Hill 2 was the first Silent Hill game, the remastered one that I did play
Yeah.
until it broke. And then watching around for the other Silent Hill, but the Resident Evil one, I don't really know if I want to touch that one, but
Yeah.
especially the newer ones.
Mhm.
Um, I'm trying to. There's probably more. I mean, like Alien Isolation stuff, but I know we're. It was hard because I wanted to add like more in there, but I'm like, no, no, this is like games from childhood that I
Yeah.
have to pull from,
Y
not modern ones.
yeah. That could be its own one.
It could. And then the last one, which will probably segue, is Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. The good memory is that well dungeon crypt thing with that like I don't even know, like that death zombie blob thing that just kind of patrols and has like
I have,
all the
like, one
hands just
game on
like
my
pop out of the
list, and that
walls.
was one of the points I was gonna make, but, yes, same. I know
Okay,
exactly what
now
you're
you
talking
got
about.
you could say it because you probably have a better descriptor than I do.
Well, yes, it's the one where it's actually a mini boss in the, Shadow Temple, where the cool thing about the Shadow Temple was with Ocarina of Time is, like, you did, like the well was kind of like the section of it where you do it as a kid, and then the actual
Yeah.
Shadow Temple, so they kinda had you do, like, like, it's a mini dungeon as the kid, you get the Lens of Truth, and then that, you have the Lens of Truth to see the invisible stuff in the actual Shadow Temple. Uh,
Okay.
Fun fact, I when I first was playing through Ocarina of Time, I could never figure out how to get to the bottom of the well well, I tried to as an adult, but as a kid, I didn't know how to. Um,
Okay. I
so
don't know how I made it down there, but I was like, this is the
that was
wrong
actually
place
what
to
one of
be.
the longest times I've been stuck in Ocarina of Time, and if you haven't beat Ocarina of Time and you don't wanna be spoiled, this is a spoiler alert because, it's kind of an important part, but give me a second if you don't wanna hear it. So with Ocarina of Time, to get into the Shadow Temple, it's kind of a cool idea, but my mind looked at it too logically. And it's like one of those things where it's a really cool way that game developers try to like get you to figure something out. But depending on how you look at time travel, you might just be like, no way, that's right. So
Yeah.
there's the guy in the well or the guy in the windmill that you talk to,
Yep.
and you talk to him as an adult, and he starts saying how a kid ruined his windmill when he was younger, whatever. And then he kind of does this song, which is the Song of Storms, that
Yep.
he
I
teaches you
remember
as an
that too.
adult. So what you had to do is you had to turn back into a kid because there was like a whole dynamic that you could turn to a kid to an adult. Go back as a kid. Now you learn the song from being an adult from this guy when you've never done that in the past, even though he said you did. So you go back to him as a kid and you play the song he taught you as an adult. So it's kind of like what do you call that? When there's like the time travel there's a word for it.
Like paradigm, paradox, I don't know.
Paradox. Yeah. So the like it's like a paradox. It's like, well, how did he if y- like how did he a kid who do it the first time who was never taught as an adult, like, how did that happen first
Yeah,
when you didn't even
because he
learn
never
until you're in
knew
a
when you played.
exactly. So that's where my
Yeah.
mind didn't like compute, and I that's where I was stuck for the longest time. And I'm not gonna lie, I'll be very truthful here. I I just could not figure it out, and I was trying to look and like just enough like how do I get to the bottom of the well? And
Mhm.
luckily, it didn't spoil the part with the whole like paradox thing, but it was like I don't something you know how random stuff will come up, and it was like a glitch to get to the bottom where when there was water in it. So what you would do is you get one of the chickens in the town, and you would jump like over the well, and just but you jump to where you'd almost land short, and right before you landed, you would throw the chicken. So
Okay.
Kid Link was stuck in the throwing animation. And the way the game works is that, like you're in the throwing animation, it didn't like combine the Link landing in water and swimming. The throwing
Mm.
animation overrode the swimming animation. So if you did that, you would fall in the throwing animation to the bottom of the well, and you could like edge yourself underneath the entrance and go in.
That's crazy.
So that's how I originally went in. And because I never got to the bottom of the well, I didn't even think there was anything. It didn't tell you because as an adult, the well is drained and the entrance is blocked.
Yeah.
And your mind might go to, well, you have to unblock the entrance. But back then I didn't look at like a very generic plain texture as they don't plan on letting you in that way, even though now I know that. Because you're a kid, you're like, obviously I need to get in here somewhere where you bombs, like everything. It made a different sound effect.
Yeah.
Now I know that sound effect means you can't get through here. But back then I just thought I wasn't finding the right thing.
Okay.
So I ended up finding out, I think because I found out you could go in the well, you were supposed to go in the well as a kid. And I somehow put it together to go back like to do the song that I learned as an adult because I had learned the song to him as the kid, and then it drained. So I had a little satisfaction of figuring out that part, even though I figured out by looking up what ended up being a glitch to get to the bottom of the well.
He found a way in that I didn't even know of.
Yes, so that got very off topic, but um
Wonder
in
how I figured it out.
in the Shadow Temple, you probably just like was like, "Oh, I learned this song. I should do it as a kid." And you just I feel like sometimes stuff just comes to people like naturally how the game wanted you to. And then for me, I'm like thinking of the paradox. I'm like, "There's no way he should have known this song." He's
No,
talking
I
about the
think I just
kid.
left the town for, like, days and then came back.
Yeah. But what you're talking about is in the Shadow Temple. It's like a mini boss, and you go into this room and there's hands sticking out of the ground, and they can
Yeah.
grab you and suck your like MP out, and like this blob. like monster with this kind of goes into the old style polygon graphics where it was just very cringy and creepy.
Yeah,
It was definitely one I think most people remember from that game.
I think so too.
And it's funny though because this kind of goes into something else where I think's really cool. It's kind of the backroom stuff.
Mm,
So there's this thing I've been seeing on TikTok where people are posting like it's kind of like a one of those show things. You like
yeah.
swipe to the different pictures, and it's basically pictures from old 64 games and old games, but it's in the style of like the back rooms where it's kind of like
Oh, that's pretty neat.
dark and grungy and like kind of realistic looking, like those like ones they do of the back rooms. Um,
Yeah.
that that style I'm talking about, where it's like
Yeah, it's like
showing.
Dream Core. Wait,
Ye
or
Yeah, I didn't know the
not
word
quite
for it, but
that.
I think Dreamcore is that sounds right. So they're doing that for these 64 games, and they have ones for, like like for Mario 64 of, like, different areas, and it's weird because, like you said, Dreamcore, it's almost like how I would imagine looking at that as, like, a kid, but it's, like, off-putting and eerie,
Yeah.
and there was one with this monster, from Ocarina of Time. And I was like, "Oh, that even just makes it, like, even more creepy." I wonder I wonder what that was called. I'm gonna look that up for
I was
mini
actually
bus.
looking it up as well.
Did you find out what it was called? Dead Hand. It's just called Dead Hand. It's yeah, it is a mi
Oh.
I just typed in mini boss from Shadow Temple because I was right with that.
Yeah, it is Dead
I wonder if I
Hand.
type in Dream Core, if that what I was talking about would look up or would pop up. Huh. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but
You look up Dream Core aesthetic.
yeah, I just did, and
It's not quite what you're thinking of.
it's well, I just typed in backroom style, and, like, it is the backroom style, but it was, like, very random ones I saw on TikTok, so I'll have to show you later, or if I don't know if I ended up I think I did end up favoriting, some of them, so I'll have to send you them,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was that was definitely one of the ones I saw, but that's kinda how I look back at some of those old games with that, like, kinda Dreamcore style a
Yeah.
little bit.
No, it really is. It's
Yeah,
like nostalgia,
but
but
Ocarina
creepy.
yes, exactly. In Ocarina of Time, that was one of the notable ones, the Dead Hand, but just that style in the game, it kinda goes back to what I was mentioning earlier with Halo, and when there was less detail, I feel like I feel like your brain's one of your freaking worst enemies. It always wants to make things worse than it is. So when
Yeah.
things aren't detailed and it's not spelled out for you of what it is, your brain makes it even worse than what it's showing you if it's less detailed. And I feel like that worked to our advantage and disadvantage with the older games.
Yeah. I mean, even in Ocarina of Time, I hated, like, going out at nighttime in, like, the
Mm,
main field area.
the zombies that would pop up,
Yeah.
the undead, and then the re-dead.
Oh, yeah, I
Do you
forgot
remember
about
the
them.
zombies and they scream and it froze you?
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
it's like, "Rrr," and then they like start like they like sit Indian style on your head and like suck your life force out. I'm like, what
I
is
do.
happening? I need an adult. But yeah, that the Re-Dead. I think they were called the Re-Dead.
Oh, yeah, with the mask looking thing?
Yeah, the mask
Yeah.
looking thing. Because there's also like the mummy like looking ones. And
No,
this
you're right with the Re-Dead. It would
yeah.
make that intense noise when it, like,
Mhm.
locked eyes with you too.
And when you turned into an adult and time has passed, like, the whole castle town is just filled with all of that with the
Oh, yeah.
Re-Dead, and The Re-Dead were in the graveyard and they were in the Shadow Temple. But yeah, that game there was actually so many like creepy things in that game. Um, the Shadow Temple had a lot more. Did you do you remember the boss from the Shadow Temple?
No.
It was like the bongo. It was like the hands with the eyes in it, and it was like on the bongo.
Why do I not? I'm checking it up.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah,
You're on par with the bongo.
yeah,
Oh, it's a whole video. I didn't want a whole video.
yeah,
I do see what you mean. I don't
yeah.
think that one was too bad. I feel like the Redeads and even Dead Hand were a bit worse than that guy.
Well, I mean, I was just gonna kind of get into there's actually some lore. I don't know if it's just fan fiction or lore, but it with the Shadow Temple being like a cover up of Hyrule's unsavory past and like war crimes and
Oh,
stuff. I don't know
yeah.
how true that is, but when you're going through the Shadow Temple, it's basically just there's just some imagery and like what like torture devices. The whole
Yeah.
aesthetic of it was super creepy. Obviously, Dead Hand set the tone early on, but there was a lot more just with that. And then what was it? Even just a graveyard going in there as the kid, and you had to like race. I think
Oh,
there
yeah.
was the
Like
grave yard
the
keeper
grave digger?
Dampy, yeah,
Yeah.
Dampy, and then when you're an adult, he's dead, and you have to race his ghost. Uh,
I forgot
Going
about
in,
that. You're
and you'd
right.
pull the tombstones out, and you'd go into these like these graves, which you're a kid, and you're like falling into graves with like corpses down there. It's just, I feel like there was a lot going on with that,
There was.
and what else? I don't trying to think what else creeped me out. But I want to like stay on point with the Re-Dead though, and kind of go into Majora's Mask because
Okay.
Majora's Mask had very it had kind of its own aesthetic with like how deep things got, which is why I like it the most. But there is just a really creepy and just like randomly off-putting scary things. Like there was because there's so many side quests in that game, and that's like half
Mhm.
the game compared to the story. And there's one where there's this girl and her dad's a researcher, and you basically have to find out how to get into her house because she's in her house and she's like scared or whatever. But you find out a way, get in her house, and she like shows you where her dad is. Her dad was doing experiments on the Re-Dead because the Re-Dead were in like this mountain area. And
Oh,
her dad basically turned into what like a Re-Dead or like I don't know if it was a Re-Dead or like a zombie. He like busts
yeah.
out of this thing that she had like he was like trapped in, and she's screaming and he's coming after us, and you have to end up doing the Song of Healing, which is a song you learn to
Oh.
basically put him back to normal. But it was just like disturbing. There was
That's
a lot of
crazy.
that kind of stuff. There was another side quest where an alien like came and would steal the cattle of like the ranch, and you had the
Mhm.
little girl, and if you failed the mission she would get sucked up with the aliens, and if you came back like a day later she was back at the table with her older sister, and she just looked like she had like a lobotomy or something. Like she just her eyes are all wide, and you just like it's just like the dots on the text,
Yeah.
like, she had seen some stuff. She's seen some shit, so, like, it's, and, it's you're playing I played that game as an adult, and I was still just like, "Oh my. This is this is crazy." But, I don't know, Ocarina of Time was definitely one of those games that just that style of Zelda, that and Majora's
Mhm.
Mask, it just even Twilight Princess had a more serious style and it could be a little creepy, but I don't think anything beats it's like the realistic style, but also like the polygon
Yeah.
like not super detailed style. Like I don't think you can beat it. I for me that was probably the creepiest style. But outside of that, I'm trying to think of I mean, it was mostly N64 for me. I mean, Banjo-Kazooie, like, I don't think it was, like, super creepy, but I think this kinda goes off topic a little bit, but it's still, like, the undetailed style. Your mind kind of, like,
Mhm.
made its own lore to, like, what you were seeing, and I'm trying to think. I guess the one thing with that game was if you lose in 2D, like, actually turned into a monster
Oh,
because it would, like, it took 2D's beauty and gave it to Gruntilda, and Gruntilda, like, gave her ugliness to 2D, so she came out, like, as an ogre, and I just think for me, it was kinda like that, as Banjo's little sister, you're playing it as you're younger, just like, "Oh my
mhm.
god," like, like, she turned into a monster, and I don't know, it just kind of that kind of like, was a little disturbing to me.
No, I can see that.
But outside of that, I mean, yeah, Dead Space was pretty scary for me. Resident Evil 4 was one I watched my brother play, and I that kinda that was pretty scary for me, just, like, watching when I was younger.
Yeah.
And Resident Evil 1 was I didn't like watching that one. I was pretty young when I watched my brother and his friend play it. It was on the Dreamcast, actually. I saw a cutscene. I'm
Oh.
like, "Oh my god." Um, Going a little further back, it's probably the last one I'll mention is oh, I forgot to mention, it's kinda like a creepypasta thing. Um, I did have something happen with Ocarina of Time before, but I think it was, like, a weird thing where the cartridge might have not been in right,
Okay.
and it, like, started the intro scene, and the intro scene when sometimes the cartridge isn't right, it will, like, get real, like, deep and distorted?
Yeah.
So, it was doing that intro theme, but real like, slowed down and distorted, and I didn't, like, shake it or do it on purpose, I was just like a little kid trying to play. It's like it it scared the shit out of me, and the
That is
reason
crazy.
it scared the shit out of me is because one creepypasta and I didn't even know what creepypasta was back then. One through the
Yeah.
grapevine, through the playground story I heard about Ocarina of Time is I forget, I don't know if Nick was like I don't know where this story came from, but it was some copies of Ocarina of Time when you'd play the intro scene,
Mhm.
you would hear like a heartbeat.
Oh, that's crazy.
Isn't that like I
I
feel like
didn't
you're
know that.
younger and I don't think that's real, but when you're younger and you hear that, like you're playing late at night,
That's when that stuff happens.
and late at night is when this thing happened with the game doing that. I was like, it was like and I already knew that story about the heartbeat. I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, I shut it
It's
off.
happening.
Yeah, it's happening. So that was one of my like scariest and I know it was just it wasn't probably in completely right
Yeah.
and all that stuff, but that was that was definitely scary.
Well, that stuff yeah, even normal stuff like that can be scary. You remember, like, when you had, like, the old TV tuner thing where it had to be on, like, 3 or 4? And then, like, if it wasn't in right, you would just get that, like, awful, like, TV static hissing noise. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but I feel like every time that
Yeah.
happened, some reason the TV was on, like, max volume.
Yeah.
So you just have static, you're like, "Oh, no."
Mhm. Oh my gosh. And the other one, this is one that I never even heard until later in life, but I couldn't imagine hearing this with the whole lore or creepypasta with it, with the Lavender Town theme with Pokemon. Because
I can hear it now in my head.
what's the creepypasta with it? Like people like would hear the original song and they would like harm themselves because of the frequencies or whatever with it.
Oh, I
I
do
I
remember
I think
hearing that,
I
yeah.
think that's just all like creepypasta or like
Yeah.
made up stuff. But that when I first was hearing that and then I heard the song, it was almost believable because the song is so eerie and it just like it's just it instantly makes you uncomfy. Have you heard it recently?
Not recently, so I'm going off of memory, but
Okay, I wonder if you can hear my
yeah, I can
can
look it up
because I
too.
actually you should be able to hear my thing here. First thing that pops up is Lavender Town. Can you hear it?
No, I may have to play it on my side.
No, I'll fix it. I have the Chrome muted. You should hear it now.
Yep. Well, I did.
You can't hear it now?
S- Yeah,
It's very
it is pretty creepy.
yeah. I hear that and I'm just like, oh. And then when you pair that with like the lore or creepypasta with it, it definitely makes it worse. You're like, I don't know if I should be listening to this right now.
That's when you get there. It's like late at night.
Mhm. Oh my gosh. I feel like the Ocarina of Time heartbeat thing really messed me up. So playing games late at night that had just that little eerie feel to it, I was always afraid of the when the cartridge was like crooked and it was like brrr,
Yeah.
it
Well, that hit like real life instead of like spooky game stuff happening. That was like it
mhm,
had a real attribute to it.
yeah. Oh my gosh. And I guess the kind of still old, but heading into newer was Luigi's Mansion. That wasn't like a
Hmm.
super scary game in the sense of like jump scares, but the first game actually had some creepy imagery and they actually had some creepy like characters, like the baby ghost and
Oh
everything.
yeah.
It was like I feel like if you were just looking at it in the like the lore kind of part of it, you put things together, it
Yeah. At
it
face value, you're like, ah, it's a baby ghost. But then you're like, wait a minute.
yes, yes. It was that game, like, some parts of it were actually kinda creepy. The following games, it was more like, "Oh, it's Luigi's Mansion, it's fun, it's ghosts,"
Yeah.
but the first one, I feel like they were trying to do a little bit more with it. And they're like, "Wait a minute, this is Mario universe, we can't go that far."
Now with the Rugrats game and Piglet.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But that's about it for me. I mean, I think for me, it was generally, like, those older games for sure.
They do hit different.
Mhm.
Yeah. You're right. Something about the like low poly and like just crunchy music.
Mhm. Oh my god,
It's
yes,
unsettling.
very. But, let us know in the comments if there's any older games that really just creep you out and what
Mhm.
year you're, planning on playing for Halloween, and if there's any games you have to suggest to play, because 'cause I'm definitely looking to play something for Halloween. Maybe Rugrats if we can get something set
Yeah,
up.
Rugrats.
Yeah. Anything
That
else for
one
you,
part.
Ryan?
No, I couldn't really think of any other, additional things to add onto the list, but definitely good to talk about the spooky nostalgia games.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This was No More Respawns, episode 14. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
So, yeah.
No more